The Chicago skyline blazed gold and crimson as the sun bled into Lake Michigan. Sophia Martinez stood on the rooftop terrace, champagne flute untouched in her hand, watching the city pulse below. Exhaustion clung to her like a second skin. 15 client accounts. 80-hour weeks. A smile she wore like armor. "Sophia, there's someone you need to meet." Jessica Blake materialized beside her, dragging a man who moved like he owned the air around him. Tall. Sharp jawline. Eyes the color of expensive emeralds. His suit probably cost more than Sophia's monthly rent. "This is my brother, Ethan." Sophia's stomach dropped. She'd heard the stories. Tech billionaire. Sold his company for headlines. Now he played God with startups and venture capital. The marketing genius who forgets to eat. Ethan's voice was smooth, assessing. His handshake firm. The tech billionaire who thinks money solves everything. Sophia pulled her hand back. And charm is a personality trait. His smile was dangerous. Direct. "I like it. I wasn't trying to impress you." Even better. Jessica disappeared for drinks, leaving them in a bubble of tension that crackled like static electricity. "So what makes Sophia Martinez tick?" Ethan leaned against the railing. "Besides deadlines and caffeine? Wouldn't you like to know?" She sipped her champagne. "What makes Ethan Blake tick? Besides quarterly earnings?" "Touché." He moved closer. "Expensive cologne. Something crisp underneath." "Jessica says you're brilliant." "Jessica says you're impossible to work with." "Also true." His grin infuriated her. "But I get results." "So do I." Without making everyone miserable. The air between them hummed. Over the following months, Ethan became inescapable. Dinners. Game nights. Sunday brunches. Each encounter a battle that left her breathless and furious. "The sexual tension is ridiculous," Jessica said one night after he left. Sophia nearly choked. "Tension? With your brother? I can barely stand him." "Right. That's why your face lights up when he walks in." "That's anger, Jessica. Pure anger." Jessica just smiled. Then Wednesday arrived like a hurricane. Sophia's biggest client demanded a complete rebrand by Monday. Her team lead quit. 2 designers called in sick. The mountain of work seemed impossible. "I need help," she admitted to Jessica on the phone. "I'm in New York until Sunday." "But Ethan is brilliant at presentations. His decks have secured millions." "Absolutely not. Sophia, you need help. He's available. And despite the bickering, you two work well together." Desperation swallowed pride. "Fine. But if he's insufferable, I'm blaming you." 2 hours later, Ethan appeared at her office door. Dark jeans. Navy sweater that made his eyes impossible. Coffee in one hand. Laptop in the other. "Jessica called," he said simply. "I'm here to help." Sophia gestured at the chaos covering her conference table. Papers. Mood boards. Empty coffee cups. "Welcome to my nightmare." He surveyed it without judgment. "Okay. Walk me through everything." They worked until midnight. Then 2 a.m. Then dawn broke pink and gold through the windows. Ethan transformed her scattered ideas into visual poetry. He asked questions that sharpened her vision. Ordered Thai food when her hands started shaking. "Eat," he commanded. "You can't create brilliance on an empty stomach." "Since when do you care if I eat?" Something shifted in his expression. Softened. "Since always. Jessica's not the only one who worries." The words landed between them like a confession. Thursday became Friday. The presentation evolved into something magnificent. But more than that, Sophia was seeing him differently. Not just the arrogant entrepreneur. Something deeper. Thoughtful. Creative. Attentive to details she'd missed. Friday night, past 2 a.m., the office empty except for them and distant vacuum cleaners, Sophia finally asked. "Why are you really helping me?" Ethan stopped typing. Met her eyes with unusual vulnerability. "Because 6 months ago, at that rooftop party, something happened that I didn't expect." His voice dropped. "I met someone who challenged me. Who didn't care about my money or my reputation. Who looked at me like I was just a man. And I haven't stopped thinking about her since." The air left Sophia's lungs. "Ethan, I..." His phone erupted. He glanced at the screen. His face drained of color. "I have to go. Right now." "What?" "We're not finished." "I'm sorry." He grabbed his jacket. "I'll be back. I promise." He was gone before she could respond. At 4 a.m., her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Ask Ethan about the Meridian acquisition. Ask him who really benefits from your rebrand presentation. You're being used, Sophia. He's not who you think he is." Her blood turned to ice. Sophia stared at her phone screen until the words blurred. Rain hammered against the office windows. Dawn light struggled through storm clouds. The Chicago skyline blazed gold and crimson as the sun bled into Lake Michigan. Sophia Martinez stood on the rooftop terrace, champagne flute untouched in her hand, watching the city pulse below. Exhaustion clung to her like a second skin. 15 client accounts. 80-hour weeks. A smile she wore like armor. "Sophia, there's someone you need to meet." Jessica Blake materialized beside her, dragging a man who moved like he owned the air around him. Tall. Sharp jawline. Eyes the color of expensive emeralds. His suit probably cost more than Sophia's monthly rent. "This is my brother, Ethan." Sophia's stomach dropped. She'd heard the stories. Tech billionaire. Sold his company for headlines. Now he played God with startups and venture capital. The marketing genius who forgets to eat. Ethan's voice was smooth, assessing. His handshake firm. The tech billionaire who thinks money solves everything. Sophia pulled her hand back. "And charm is a personality trait." His smile was dangerous. Direct. "I like it. I wasn't trying to impress you." Even better. Jessica disappeared for drinks, leaving them in a bubble of tension that crackled like static electricity. "So what makes Sophia Martinez tick?" Ethan leaned against the railing. "Besides deadlines and caffeine? Wouldn't you like to know?" She sipped her champagne. "What makes Ethan Blake tick? Besides quarterly earnings?" "Touché." He moved closer. "Expensive cologne. Something crisp underneath. Jessica says you're brilliant. Jessica says you're impossible to work with." Also true. His grin infuriated her. "But I get results." "So do I. Without making everyone miserable." The air between them hummed. Over the following months, Ethan became inescapable. Dinners. Game nights. Sunday brunches. Each encounter a battle that left her breathless and furious. "The sexual tension is ridiculous," Jessica said one night after he left. Sophia nearly choked. "Tension? With your brother? I can barely stand him." "Right. That's why your face lights up when he walks in." "That's anger, Jessica. Pure anger." Jessica just smiled. Then Wednesday arrived like a hurricane. Sophia's biggest client demanded a complete rebrand by Monday. Her team lead quit. 2 designers called in sick. The mountain of work seemed impossible. I need help, she admitted to Jessica on the phone. I'm in New York until Sunday. But Ethan is brilliant at presentations. His decks have secured millions. Absolutely not. Sophia, you need help. He's available. And despite the bickering, you two work well together. Desperation swallowed pride. Fine. But if he's insufferable, I'm blaming you. 2 hours later, Ethan appeared at her office door. Dark jeans. Navy sweater that made his eyes impossible. Coffee in one hand. Laptop in the other. Jessica called, he said simply. I'm here to help. Sophia gestured at the chaos covering her conference table. Papers. Mood boards. Empty coffee cups. Welcome to my nightmare. He surveyed it without judgment. Okay. Walk me through everything. They worked until midnight. Then 2 a.m. Then dawn broke pink and gold through the windows. Ethan transformed her scattered ideas into visual poetry. He asked questions that sharpened her vision. Ordered Thai food when her hands started shaking. Eat, he commanded. You can't create brilliance on an empty stomach. Since when do you care if I eat? Something shifted in his expression. Softened. Since always. Jessica's not the only one who worries. The words landed between them like a confession. Thursday became Friday. The presentation evolved into something magnificent. But more than that, Sophia was seeing him differently. Not just the arrogant entrepreneur. Something deeper. Thoughtful. Creative. Attentive to details she'd missed. Friday night, past 2 a.m., the office empty except for them and distant vacuum cleaners, Sophia finally asked. Why are you really helping me? Ethan stopped typing. Met her eyes with unusual vulnerability. Because 6 months ago, at that rooftop party, something happened that I didn't expect. His voice dropped. I met someone who challenged me. Who didn't care about my money or my reputation. Who looked at me like I was just a man. And I haven't stopped thinking about her since. The air left Sophia's lungs. Ethan, His phone erupted. He glanced at the screen. His face drained of color. I have to go. Right now. What? We're not finished. I'm sorry. He grabbed his jacket. I'll be back. I promise. He was gone before she could respond. At 4 a.m., her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Ask Ethan about the Meridian acquisition. Ask him who really benefits from your rebrand presentation. You're being used, Sophia. He's not who you think he is. Her blood turned to ice. Sophia stared at her phone screen until the words blurred. Rain hammered against the office windows. Dawn light struggled through storm clouds. It's my partner. Michael. His voice was hollow. He's moving forward with the Meridian acquisition. Without me. Using the presentation you created. Sophia sat up. He can't do that. It's my work. He's claiming it was developed under my consultation. Which technically. No. Horror crept up her spine. No, Ethan, that means. That means your work is being used exactly how you feared. Just not by me. His eyes were agonized. Sophia, I swear I didn't know. Michael must have stolen the files before I withdrew from the deal. Can you stop him? I don't know. Maybe. But it would mean, he stopped. Would mean what? He met her eyes. It would mean exposing Michael's theft. Which means exposing our relationship. Making public that I was involved with you while consulting on your rebrand. It could destroy your reputation. Make you look complicit. End your career. The room felt too small. Too cold. So my options are let him steal my work, or destroy my own career trying to stop him. There might be another way. Ethan's jaw tightened. I could take the blame. Say I orchestrated everything. That I manipulated you. It would tank my reputation, but it would protect yours. Ethan, no. It's the only way to save you. She grabbed his face. I'm not letting you sacrifice yourself. And I'm not letting you pay for my mistakes. Thunder rumbled outside. Rain began to fall. Sophia's phone lit up. A message from Jessica. Turn on the news. Now. Ethan grabbed the remote. Flipped to a business channel. A reporter's face filled the screen. Breaking news tonight. Tech entrepreneur Ethan Blake under investigation for corporate espionage. Sources claim Blake used personal relationships to gain insider information for lucrative acquisitions. Sophia's blood froze. The reporter continued, among the allegations, claims that Blake pursued a relationship with marketing executive Sophia Martinez to secure details about Meridian Hotel's upcoming rebrand. Photos flashed on screen. Her and Ethan. Leaving the bar tonight. Kissing on the street. Someone set us up, Sophia whispered. Ethan's phone exploded with calls. The last message that came through was from Michael. Told you she'd destroy you. Should have stuck to business, partner. The news cycle devoured them whole. By Wednesday morning, Sophia's office was a war zone. Her boss called her in. Conference room. Glass walls. Everyone watching. You're suspended pending investigation, he said. No warmth. No understanding. Security will escort you out. This is a setup. Michael Chen. I don't want to hear it, Martinez. You've embarrassed this firm. Made us look like we're complicit in corporate espionage. The walk through the office was endless. Eyes followed her. Whispers cut like knives. Jessica tried to intercept, but Sophia kept walking. Out the doors. Into cold November air. Into nothing. Her phone buzzed constantly. Reporters. Former colleagues. Vultures circling. One text cut through the noise. Ethan. Don't answer anyone. Don't talk to press. I'm fixing this. She wanted to believe him. But belief felt like a luxury she couldn't afford. That night, Jessica showed up with wine and fury. Michael planned this, she said, pacing Sophia's tiny living room. He's been planning it for months. Why? Because Ethan was getting out. Walking away from the partnership. Michael couldn't control him anymore, so he decided to destroy him instead. Jessica's hands shook. And he used you to do it. How did he even know about us? He's been watching Ethan for weeks. Had someone follow him. Photograph you together. Build a narrative. She pulled out her phone. Showed Sophia messages. Look. I hacked into Michael's cloud. He documented everything. The anonymous text you got? That was him. Setting the trap. Sophia's blood ran cold. We have proof. We have proof he set you up. But we don't have proof he stole your presentation. And without that, Ethan still looks guilty. So what do we do? Ethan has a plan. But Sophia, you're not going to like it. The meeting happened in a private room at the Four Seasons. Sophia arrived first. Heart hammering. Then Ethan walked in. He looked wrecked. Suit rumpled. Shadows under his eyes. But when he saw her, relief flooded his face. You came. Jessica said you have a plan. He nodded. Pulled out a folder. Michael made one mistake. He bragged. Sent texts to investors about the Meridian deal. Referenced details that only came from your presentation. Details that weren't public before Friday. So we can prove he stole it. Yes. But there's a catch. Ethan's jaw tightened. To prove he stole it, I have to admit I had access to it. Which means admitting I consulted on your rebrand. Which makes our relationship look exactly like the espionage they're claiming. Sophia's heart sank. So we're back where we started. I'd pay it again. She pulled him close. Every bit of it. Because you're worth it. He kissed her then. Desperate. Rain pouring down. Everything they'd survived pouring into that moment. When they finally broke apart, he whispered, I have something to tell you. Something I should have told you from the beginning. Dread crept up her spine. What? The night we met. On that rooftop. It wasn't random. His voice cracked. I asked Jessica to bring me. Because I'd seen you at a conference 6 months before that. I'd watched you present. And I'd been looking for a way to meet you ever since. The world tilted. You mean? I mean I orchestrated everything. Our meeting. Our friendship. All of it. Because I was obsessed with you before you even knew I existed. Sophia stepped back. You stalked me? I pursued you. There's a difference. Is there? Her voice was ice. Because from where I'm standing, you just admitted that our entire relationship is built on lies. Sophia, please. How much of this was real, Ethan? Any of it? Before he could answer, her phone rang. Jessica. Voice panicked, turn on the news. Right now. The screen showed her office building. Fire trucks. Smoke. Reporter voice, fire at Martinez Marketing believed to be arson. Sources say it started in Sophia Martinez's office. Investigation ongoing. Sophia's blood turned to ice. A text appeared. Unknown number. You took everything from me. Now I take everything from you. Michael. The smoke rose black against the night sky. Fire trucks wailed. Police tape cordoned off the block. Sophia stood frozen on the sidewalk. Watching her career burn. He did this from custody, Rachel said, phone pressed to her ear. Had someone on the outside. We're tracking them now. Ethan stood beside Sophia. Silent. His presence both comfort and accusation. His confession still hung between them like shattered glass. Miss Martinez? A detective approached. Tired eyes. Notepad. We need to ask you some questions. The precinct was fluorescent bright. Coffee bad. Questions worse. Do you have enemies? The detective asked. Besides the man currently in FBI custody? Sophia's voice was hollow. No. Just him. Michael Chen's lawyer is claiming this proves his innocence. That you and Mr. Blake orchestrated everything to frame him. Her blood went cold. That's insane. Is it? Because from where I'm sitting, you two have motive. Chen's arrest blocks his acquisition. Clears your names. And now there's a convenient fire destroying any evidence that might contradict your story. We have recordings. Proof of his confession. Which could be fabricated. Or coerced. The detective leaned forward. I've seen this before. Powerful people playing games. Someone always gets burned. Usually someone like you. Ethan's voice cut through the room like a blade. That's enough. She's done answering questions without a lawyer. Mr. Blake. Interesting you're here. Care to explain why you weren't at the scene when it happened? I was with Sophia. All evening? Silence. Because they hadn't been together all evening. They'd separated after the restaurant. After his confession. After everything shattered. The detective smiled. Not kindly. Thought so. Outside the precinct, dawn crept gray and cold. Sophia's phone was dead. Her office destroyed. Her life in pieces. "I need to ask you something," she said to Ethan. Not looking at him. "And I need the truth. Anything. Did you know Michael was going to do this?" He recoiled like she'd struck him. "What? No. Sophia, how could you think?" "Because I don't know what to think anymore." She finally looked at him. "You admitted you manipulated our meeting. That you'd been watching me for months before that rooftop. How do I know this isn't just another game? Another acquisition? Because I love you. Do you? Or do you love the idea of me? The challenge I represented? The one thing your money couldn't buy?" Pain shattered across his face. "You really think that little of me?" "I don't know what I think. All I know is that my life was stable before you. Exhausting, but stable. And now everything I've worked for is ashes. My career. My reputation. My peace. All gone. Because of you. Because of Michael. Who only targeted me to get to you." Her voice cracked. "Don't you see? This is what your world does. It destroys everything it touches. And I'm not strong enough to survive it. Sophia. I need space. I need time. I need to figure out who I am without you in my head." She walked away. Left him standing in the cold morning. Didn't look back. Jessica's apartment became her refuge. Her best friend asked no questions. Just made tea. Provided blankets. Let Sophia break. "He orchestrated our meeting," Sophia whispered. Third day. Third bottle of wine. 6 months before that rooftop. He saw me at a conference. And he planned everything. "I know," Jessica said quietly. Sophia's head snapped up. "You knew?" "He told me. That first night he asked me to bring him to the rooftop party. Said he'd been trying to work up the courage to approach you for months." Jessica's eyes were sad. "He begged me not to tell you. Said he wanted you to know him first. To see who he really was before you knew he'd been pursuing you. That's not romantic, Jessica. That's calculated. Is it? Or is it just a scared man who finally found someone he wanted more than success?" She sat beside Sophia. "My brother has never been good at people. He understands money. Business. Strategy. But emotions? Connection? He's terrified of them. So yes, he approached you the only way he knew how. With a plan. He should have told me." "You're right. He should have. But Sophia, everything after that? The falling in love? The way he looks at you like you're his whole world? That wasn't planned. That was real." Sophia wanted to believe her. But trust felt impossible. Her phone buzzed. "Rachel, we found Michael's accomplice. You need to see this." The FBI office was sterile. Rachel led her to an interrogation room. Through one-way glass, Sophia saw a woman. Young. Familiar. Her stomach dropped. "That's Melissa. My former assistant. The one who quit last month. She's been working with Michael for 6 months. Feeding him information. Access codes. Your schedule. Everything he needed to destroy you." Sophia felt sick. Why? Money. Michael paid her $50,000. Promised her a job at his firm after. Rachel's voice was hard. She's the one who set the fire. Left evidence pointing to you. Michael's plan was always to destroy you both. Frame you for fraud. Then frame you for arson covering up fraud. How did you catch her? She got greedy. Tried to blackmail Michael for more money. He turned on her. Gave her up to cut a deal. Rachel pulled out a tablet. Showed Sophia messages. But here's the thing. These texts prove Michael planned everything from the beginning. Before the Meridian deal. Before you even started the rebrand. He was setting you up the whole time. Sophia's mind raced. Why me? Because Ethan mentioned you. Once. In a partners meeting. Said he'd met someone brilliant. Someone who challenged him. Rachel's eyes were sympathetic. Michael saw you as a weakness. A way to control Ethan. Or destroy him if control failed. The implications crashed over her. So everything was Michael's manipulation. Not Ethan's. Ethan's only crime was falling in love with you. And not being smart enough to tell you the whole truth from the beginning. Sophia closed her eyes. Saw Ethan's face that night in the rain. The devastation when she'd walked away. Where is he now? Home. Drowning in guilt and whiskey. Blaming himself for everything that happened to you. Sophia grabbed her coat. I need to go. Sophia, wait. There's something else. Rachel's voice stopped her. Michael made bail. 2 hours ago. Dread crept up her spine. How? Good lawyers. Better connections. But that's not what worries me. She pulled up a recording. Michael's voice, distorted but clear, she took everything from me. My reputation. My freedom. My future. I'm going to take the thing Ethan loves most. And I'm going to make him watch. Sophia's blood froze. He's going to come after me. FBI is setting up protection. But Sophia, you need to disappear for a while. Let us handle. No. Sophia's voice was steel. I'm done running. Done hiding. Michael wants a war. I'll give him one. You can't fight him alone. I won't be alone. She pulled out her phone. Called Ethan. He answered on the first ring. Sophia. I'm sorry. For everything I said. For walking away. For not trusting you. You had every right not to trust me. No. I didn't. Because loving someone means trusting them even when it's hard. Even when everything says not to. And I love you, Ethan Blake. I love you so much it terrifies me. Silence. Then, where are you? FBI office. But Ethan, Michael made bail. And he's coming for us. Then let him come. We'll face him together. There's something else I need to tell you. Something I should have said that night in the rain. She took a breath. I don't care that you orchestrated our meeting. I don't care that you'd been watching me. Because every moment after that rooftop was real. Every conversation. Every touch. Every time you looked at me like I mattered. That was real. And that's all that matters. Sophia. I'm coming to you. And we're ending this. Together. She hung up. Turned to Rachel. What's the plan? Rachel smiled. Dangerous. We draw Michael out. Use you as bait. And we put him away for good. When? Tonight. He's watching Ethan's building. Waiting for you to show up. When you do, we'll be ready. The trap was set. Sophia walked into Ethan's building lobby. Heart hammering. FBI positioned throughout. Ethan waiting upstairs. The elevator rose. Each floor a lifetime. The penthouse doors opened. Ethan stood by the windows. Chicago glittering beyond. Chicago glittering beyond. He turned. Saw her. Crossed the room in 3 strides. The kiss was everything. Apology. Forgiveness. Promise. I'm sorry, he whispered against her lips. For all of it. I know. Me too. Glass shattered behind them. Michael stepped through the broken window. Gun in hand. Blood on his face. Madness in his eyes. Touching, he said. Really? But I told you. I'm taking everything. FBI radios crackled. Footsteps thundered. Michael smiled. They won't get here in time. He raised the gun. And Sophia stepped in front of Ethan. Time crystallized. Sophia stood between Michael's gun and Ethan's heart. The wind howled through shattered glass. Chicago's lights blazed below like fallen stars. Move, Michael commanded. His hands shook. Blood dripped from cuts where he'd climbed through the window. This doesn't concern you. Yes, it does. Sophia's voice was steady. You want to destroy him? You'll have to go through me first. Sophia, don't. Ethan grabbed her arm. Tried to pull her back. Please. She didn't move. I spent 6 months pretending I hated him. Protecting myself. Building walls. And I'm done. I'm done hiding. Done playing it safe. You want to take everything from him, Michael? I'm everything. So shoot me. Or put the gun down. Michael's eyes were hollow. Broken. He ruined me. No. You ruined yourself. By choosing greed over integrity. Money over humanity. And now you're choosing murder over redemption. She took a step forward. But it's not too late. You can still walk away. Walk away to what? Prison? Disgrace? Everything I built is gone. Everything you stole is gone, Ethan said quietly. There's a difference. Footsteps thundered in the hallway. FBI agents. Seconds away. Michael's finger tightened on the trigger. Sophia closed her eyes. The shot never came. She opened her eyes. The gun was on the floor. Michael was on his knees. Sobbing. I can't, he whispered. I can't do this. I can't become this. FBI agents flooded in. Grabbed Michael. Read him his rights. The gun was bagged. Evidence collected. Rachel appeared, phone to her ear, coordinating. Sophia stood frozen. Ethan's arms wrapped around her from behind. She felt his heart hammering against her back. Felt his breath ragged in her ear. You could have died, he said. So could you. That's not the same thing. She turned in his arms. Yes, it is. Because I'd rather die protecting you than live without you. That's what love is. That's what I finally understand. His forehead pressed to hers. I don't deserve you. Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway. They left the building as dawn broke. Pink and gold light painted the city. Rachel had given them the all clear. Michael was in custody. Melissa had flipped. Federal charges filed. It was over. What happens now? Sophia asked as they walked. No destination. Just movement. I don't know. What do you want to happen? She thought about it. Her destroyed office. Her suspended career. The chaos of the last weeks. I want to start over. Build something new. Something that's mine. She looked at him. Something that's ours. What did you have in mind? I was thinking about what you said. About investing in startups. Helping people build their dreams. She smiled. What if we did that together? Your money. My marketing genius. Actual partnership. No secrets. You'd want to work with me? After everything? Especially after everything. Because now I know what we're capable of. Together. His smile was sunrise. Okay. Partners. Partners. They walked until they found a coffee shop. Ordered breakfast. Sat by the window watching the city wake. And for the first time in months, Sophia felt something like peace. I need to tell you something, Ethan said. Serious now. Something I haven't told anyone. Her heart clenched. What? That conference. 6 months before the rooftop. Where I first saw you. He stared at his coffee. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to be in Hong Kong. Closing a $1 billion deal. But something told me to cancel. To go to Chicago instead. To attend some random marketing conference I had no business being at. Why? I don't know. Instinct. Fate. Whatever you want to call it. He met her eyes. But I walked into that ballroom. And I saw you on stage. Talking about authentic connection in a digital world. About building real relationships in artificial spaces. And something in me broke open. Because you were talking about everything I'd sacrificed. Everything I'd given up to build my empire. Tears burned her eyes. Ethan. You saved me that day, Sophia. Before you even knew I existed. You reminded me that there was more to life than profit margins and acquisitions. And I spent 6 months trying to work up the courage to tell you that. To thank you. And then I fell in love with you instead. She reached across the table. Took his hand. I love you. The calculated parts. The spontaneous parts. The parts that are good at strategy and the parts that are terrible at emotions. All of it. Even though I'm impossible. Especially because you're impossible. 6 months later, they stood in a new office. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Exposed brick. Their names on the door, Blake Martinez Ventures. Their first investment was a young woman with a sustainable fashion startup. Their second, a refugee with a revolutionary water filtration system. Their third, a teacher who developed educational software for underserved communities. They built something beautiful. Something that mattered. Jessica visited often. Brought wine. Told stories about her brother's terrible cooking attempts. Sophia's terrible morning personality. The way they'd somehow made chaos into something like happiness. I knew, Jessica said one night. Wine flowing. Laughter easy. From that first rooftop party. I knew you two would either kill each other or fall in love. We almost did both, Sophia said. But you chose love. Jessica raised her glass. To choosing love. Even when it's terrifying. They clinked glasses. Drank. Watched the sun set over Chicago. Ethan found Sophia later on their apartment balcony. She was wrapped in his sweater. Staring at the city lights. He came up behind her. Wrapped his arms around her waist. What are you thinking about? How different everything is now. How different I am. Better? Just different. More whole. Like I was missing pieces I didn't know I needed. And you helped me find them. He kissed her temple. You did the same for me. They stood there. Breathing together. The city breathing with them. Ethan? Yeah? If you could go back. To that conference. To the moment before you saw me on stage. Would you choose differently? He thought about it. All the pain. The fear. The moments when everything almost shattered. No, he said finally. I'd choose you. Every time. In every lifetime. I'd choose you. She turned in his arms. Kissed him. Deep and slow and full of promise. Good, she whispered. Because I'd choose you too. The city glittered. Wind carried the scent of rain. Somewhere below, life continued. People fell in love. Hearts broke. Mended. Broke again. But here, on this balcony, in this moment, two people who'd pretended to hate each other found something rare. They found truth. In the mess. In the chaos. In the space between who they thought they should be and who they actually were. They found home. And that was enough. That was everything. The end.